Okay, everybody, here we go. Again, you and me. I love this part. So, Thursday, December 29th, 2022. This is my, of course, post-market wrap-up. Going to be lovely. Very lovely. Okay, I want to talk about some stuff with you here. A few things going on, what hedge funds are doing with regard to energy, a few other little things that we need to pay attention to. But let's first, just for the sake of having a good time, let's look over at the freak show stock market for a moment. Nice gains here across the board today. We had a significant drop with regard to the relative strength of the U.S. dollar. That's the reverse of a fear trade. It's more like a sigh of relief over what? I have no freaking clue. And you have the 10-year yield today, which came down. Now, if you, and I hope you are, paying attention to the MMRI, it did drop slightly below 250. This is not like any place lovely to be, people. You know, it's still a high risk environment. And I don't know about you, but this guy right here is not convinced in any way, shape, or form that this issue with instability in the debt market is just going to go away. What's going to happen here, people? What do we know? Well, more than likely is going to happen. I've been covering this as of late. I don't think they're done, central banks. You know this. I think they're going to get into the market and buy more. Again, just in case you're new here, and I know there's a lot of newer people here, how does a central bank, let's just say the Federal freaking Reserve, how do they keep rates at a certain level? Can the thing, putrid, disgusting, vomitous, hideous, thing, okay? I'm talking about Jay Powell, Yellowstone himself, the Fed chair, or any other Fed president. Can they just, walk out in front of a microphone and say, hey, you know what we're going to do? The Federal Reserve is going to keep rates at X for X amount of time, and then we're going to be incrementally raising rates. How do they do that? How do they pull it off? How does a central bank keep rates at a certain point? Well, it's very simple. They get into the market. They have to create cash out of thin air. Just magically, just poof, add digits to a screen, la-di-da, and buy the debt. They can't just keep it that way. You understand? I think you do. At least I hope you do. And this is the same for every single central bank around the world. Okay, it's an interesting dynamic. These central banks here issue debt through one door and buy it through another. Issue debt, buy the debt. Issue debt, buy the debt. It's some kind of a twisted, revolving mechanism that just does one thing. What does it do? What is this mechanism here with central banks issuing debt through this door and then buying it back through another door? How does this affect the entire financial system? Well, several ways. Number one, it allows these institutions to gain power. And I mean, that's the key here. Central banks are again the most powerful organizations on the planet. None more so than the Federal Reserve, being that it has the full, entire backing of the U.S. Armed Forces, including its nuclear arsenal. Okay, that's what really backs the fiat currency, is the threat of unbridled death on an unprecedented scale here. Because you see, the Federal Reserve will point that war machine at whoever they want to, okay? Either outward or inward. You understand? And I think you get it here. But this mechanism here, this revolving door that they've created here, issuing debt and buying it back, and issuing debt and buying it back. First of all, that mechanism is insanely inflationary. Duh. That's part of the reason why we're seeing what we are seeing. And the root cause of the reason why central banks are going to continue to inflate and inflate and inflate and inflate, and it ain't going to stop. And they're going to tell you that everything is great because they're raising rates and it's going to make all the difference in the world. How about no? You know this already, okay? They're selling the one solution idea. There is never generally really only one solution to a problem like this, okay? As you all know, yes, their central banks have been involved in this tale, this fairy tale, telling everyone they've been raising rates and it's going to make a difference sometime in the future. A miracle is going to happen. Oh, but no talk at all about a possible another solution that is contracting the money supply, because again, they're using the mainstream to sell you all a lie. But you see, you, by following this blog, are too damn smart. And you laugh at it. You laugh at what's happening. And I think at the same time, it probably bothers you to a very high degree, as it does me. Anyway, here, so this mechanism here, issuing debt, buying debt, issuing debt, buying debt, it's just not going to stop. It's how the system works. And while we're on that topic here, just real quick, being that you and I realize, okay, because we have a functioning brain, more than one functioning brain cell here, what do you think is going to be the game plan or the strategy used or utilized against we the people by our so-called policymakers moving forward into 2023 and freaking beyond? Okay, well, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I hope bells and whistles are going off in your head right now. It's to expand the debt. Again, we just got this $1.7 trillion spending package. Do you think that's all? Do you think it's going to end here? Or is there going to be some other freaking thing over there and another freaking thing over here and more war and expanding wars and everything else just to keep this whole system going? Let me see. I'd be willing to bet that you picked B, that is expand the debt. It's just not going to stop. Balloon the money supply. Look, I'll tell you a couple of other things that I think we need to pay attention to. Hedge funds right now. Hedge funds, these big Wall Street institutions that have unbelievable amounts of cash at their disposal here. They're betting pretty big on higher energy prices moving forward. Okay, imagine my shock, because I've been explaining this to you for like months. It's going to happen here. This lull that we've had here lately, we had energy prices taking off. We came down, and I think this is going to reverse. I think we're going much, much higher, but for reasons that may be beyond the ability for, let's say, someone unlike yourself to grasp. You know what this game is. It's pressure and control on the people by forcing them to have to deal with higher prices for energy and for everything else here. Henceforth, why inflation is going to continue rising. And who knows what kind of fable they're going to be telling you. Oh, it's peaking. Oh, it's coming down. It's peaking and it's coming down at the same time. It's simultaneous. Whatever they're going to throw at you. And I'll tell you a couple of other things you need to watch for. Famine and thirst. I sincerely believe there lies a very great possibility that they're going to weaponize food, resources, including water, against us, the people of the world here. They're going to use this as a tactic to force more control. Does this sound logical to you? Or am I just like completely out there? I really want you to think about what I'm saying here. Do you believe, and I want to hear from you, I promise to read the comments, do you think it's beyond the realm of possibility for not only for them to weaponize energy, which they're already doing here, okay, that is forcing people to pay more and more and more for energy, then they're going to weaponize the food supply by, again, shortages, probably much, much higher prices moving forward here, and also with regard to water as a resource. I believe that they're going to find a way to weaponize water. Maybe it's a good investment. Invest in water, okay? And not just for the water that you're saving for yourself in case of a worst case scenario. I think most of you here, like myself, have a nice stash of this stuff. You need to. You always have to have the high ground. You gotta think outside the box. You gotta understanding the freak show. And I know I joke about it, but it really is a freak show. These are monsters. They're not even human, these things, okay? And what they're doing here is trying to scheme, and this has been in the works for many, many years here, how they can extort more control. not only creating slaves to the current system by making mortgages available to most anyone here. These ninja loans here, Bank of America is the first one. By increasing credit limits, so people go out and, of course, they're going to be irresponsible and swipe and swipe and swipe and swipe, while they spray their shorts all over the place, not realizing what they're doing. You got plastic, you're fantastic, right? Not so much. And the whole mechanism here of forcing people to, and nations around the world, to take on greater and greater debt loads, creating slaves to the system. Hold on a minute. You all are very well aware of this. Sorry, got something in my There we go. And then, of course, this another issue here. It's not getting much airplay here, but, talk of more stimulus checks, because that's going to help everybody. Okay, all it's going to do is, again, create another reason to pull cash out of the Fed, because they're going to supply it and they'll be more than happy to do it. You understand? Look, this stuff here I think is important, and it's stuff that we need to pay attention to. So I want to hear from you. So just going back over to the freak show here, stock market. Gains today, relative dollar strength, markedly weaker today. 10-year yield came down a little bit. MMRI just under 250 now. I don't know about you, but like I said, I think, I don't know. Let's just see what they pull off. Are they going to manage to keep the debt market stable longer? I think they are. I think they're going to get in here and buy more, because that's their end game. That's their goal anyway. If they have any reason to buy more, well, they're going to take it. You see, I think you understand that, as they continue to create distortions across the spectrum of asset classes. Nothing has a price discovery mechanism behind it anymore. No, it's crazy, but that's the truth. I mean, people know the truth when they hear it. And does this sound right to you? Or is Greg out there, he needs to up his medication? That may be the case too. And I'd love to hear from you on that. So we got cryptos under a little pressure today. Gold and silver turnaround did okay. Crude oil, a slight loss today. That's the situation. That's where we stand. But I think the bigger, I'm a macro guy. All of you seem to know that. At least I hope you do. I like to look at the big picture. What's going on a macro scale? And then kind of you can zero in down on other things that are, of course, important. But I think on a macro scale, I believe I have it right. I really do. And many, many, many things, not everything, but many, many, many things that we have spoken about here on this blog from years and years ago are happening. It's in front of our face. You don't got to be a rocket scientist to figure this stuff out. You just got to understand the game, what they're trying to do, and it's all about control. And I really feel that there is a probably very strong possibility that not only are they going to weaponize energy moving forward, the price of energy moving forward, and it looks like the hedge funds are betting on that. But I think, like I said, I think they're going to weaponize the food chain, supply chains. They're going to weaponize resources, including water. And I want to hear from you. Do you think I'm on target or I'm way off target? All right, look, this guy here, as always, loves you a lot from the heart. I mean it. Please comment. I promise to read the comments. Share this video. I count on all of you to get this work out there. We're making a difference. We, you, and I really, how we know we're making a difference, like I've been telling you, we're nearing 100 million freaking views. That, my friends, is a big number. It really is. All right? And it's all you. It's not me. It's you. You get this stuff out there. And I can't thank you enough for that. All right, that's it. I will see all of you in the morning. We'll regain, we'll start the festivities again in the morning. It's going to be just perfect. I'll see you.